Hey everyone, welcome back to another writing video. My name is Alyssa and this is my channel, Shiva Shay Writes Books. Today I'm going to be doing my November writing wrap-up because I realized that it was the 1st of December, so happy December, and I didn't do my writing wrap-up yet. So, November was National Novel Writing Month, where we come together as writers on NaNoWriMo, .org and try to write 50,000 words in a month, which I failed. I think by the 26th, if you hear the clicking, that's because I'm moving over to my document or Google Docs. Let me just find my story. There you are. Before NaNoWriMo, I was working on a novel called Morgan, and I'm actually working on that novel again, and we'll talk about that in a bit, but for this, where I ended up finishing before switching into Morgan, because my heart was just calling me towards Morgan, and I just didn't feel like working on this novel anymore, even though I've made some breakthroughs with the Element Hunter series, which is my dark fantasy series. I did have Zamora, which was the first book, up as an ebook on Kindle, but then I took it down sometime during the month, and that was because I figured out how to cross Paper Decay, which is the NaNoWriMo novel, into the Element Hunter world, and I figured out that I was writing 4,000 years into the past of Master Azora, and I was writing about a different part of the land of Corinthia, which is only one country. So I have created a whole other continent that has a couple more kingdoms over there, and it just has a little bit of the darker side of Zamora. So if you did read Zamora at all, which I don't think anyone did, because there were no ratings on it whatsoever, yeah, so I just decided to take down Zamora, and where I left off in Paper Decay was 61 pages with 24,309 words, and that's where I left off with that. I am kind of happy with how it's going, not too sure. Also, going back to Morgan, yeah. Trying to figure out if I want to say the actual, or like the second working title. I think I'll just say the second working title. I've been calling this story Morgan because part 1 is part of Morgan's story. So this is kind of like book 1 of Morgan's story, and when I got to chapter 11, I realized that there was a way for me to, or there was the end of chapter 11 that ended up helping me to get, like, switch gears a little bit and go straight into part 2, which is the second, like, storyline in this book, and it is really long. There's going to be multiple storylines. I have also written part 3 of my sisters, and what I'm doing now, instead of just doing, like, writing a normal chapter, is I'm actually writing a little, like, poem or prophecy type thing that kind of relates to what is happening in the scene before, so in the chapter beforehand. I'm kind of just doing a little creepy poem, and I don't really want to say more than that. Anyways, I'm on chapter 18 right now, and I was going to make it Morgan's chapter, and I started it, but then earlier today I actually deleted that section, or that little paragraph, because I did not like switching back into Morgan in this point of the story, and I realized I could have quite a few more chapters in this just to dive deeper into Marguerite, which is the kind of main character of this second part, Josh Miller and Carson Garcia. Actually, I need to type in his last name. Garcia. There we go. I put the chapter heading, so chapter 18, and then I put their full name. So Carson Garcia, Marguerite Lopez, or Josh Miller. And I've only had one point of view of Josh, but I'm going to integrate more of his chapters into this part because he is a police officer, and so I have a police officer, journalist, and a journalist slash detective because Charlie is a journalist slash detective, and I'm also making this a really diverse story, at least in what I know, because a lot of my friends are just from different cultures in general. So I'm making, like, I don't know. I'm trying to make it really diverse. So with this story, I did take almost a month break from it because I was doing Paper Decay for NaNoWriMo, and I did announce that title in my blog post, which I'll leave down below. But my page count is 71 pages. I'm in chapter 18, and I have 24,215 words. With this one, I'm not really worried about the word count. I'm more so worried about getting the story down and making sure that it's what I want in this first draft. I already know going into the second draft that I'll have to really dissect part 2 even more because I'm kind of just skimming through it, which I don't want to do, but that's what I am doing. And yeah, that's kind of all that I've been working on in this month, which is Paper Decay and Morgan, and the other working title is called Forgotten Memories, but I don't think that is going to end up working, so I don't know what this story is called. I'm just still calling it Morgan, or maybe I'll call it Kyle. Chronicles of Kyle? I don't know, because Kyle's a very important character in all of these people's lives, and he is dead. It's kind of like Riverdale with Jason Blossom. His death not only affected his sister and his family, but every single person in that town. So even though Kyle didn't die in Harrison or April, which is the second town that's an hour away, and these are towns that are in the mountain, so they're surrounded by mountains and forests. So it does take, I think if you've been to Lake Tahoe or Seattle, it takes about 30 minutes to get anywhere. I literally, one time when we went to Lake Tahoe for my dad's Spartan race, it was just me, my dad, and his dad. We went up there, and then for lunch, when my dad was starting the race, my papa and I kind of took a lunch break, and it took us 20 minutes just to get to the grocery, or no, like a half hour to an hour just to get to the grocery store, and I was actually not feeling good. I got sick the night before, and it took us an hour, so I ended up sleeping almost for part of that. So just picture that amount of time to get from Harrison to April. So they're still close. It's just, an hour away. I think that's all I wanted to say for this video. Yeah, because I'll give you a reading update too. So, one book that I finished last month, we'll try not to drop anything else. So one book that I finished last month, which I did do a book review on my blog, is Before Midnight, Riley's Story by Juliana May. I received this winning one of her giveaways, so Thank you, Juliana. I thoroughly enjoyed it. This was the first book that I read, and one of the only books because it is really short, but it did take me a long time to read it just because of everything happening around Chico. Yeah. The next book that I'm reading is Shadowcrown by Kristen Martin, and I'm about that far into it. I haven't picked any books up in the past couple days because I've been so focused on Morgan, and I've seen a lot of writers talk about how when they're so focused in whatever story that they're writing, they don't tend to read, and I realize that I do that too. And it's really annoying because I do want to read, but I just haven't. Anyways, sorry, I had to take a drink. Anyways, with Shadowcrown, I was so excited to get this, and it's from the library. I have a whole stack of books from the library. Oh, I'm also, one sec, let me get another book. And one more book, because I just realized I forgot that one. Anyways, going back to Shadowcrown first before I get to the other books. So this is like a writing and reading wrap-up. Yeah. Anyways, going back to Shadowcrown, I love Kristen Martin's videos. I find them so helpful and so motivating, and I love her as a person and hope that one day I get to meet her. But I don't see anything wrong with this story. It is a little slow in the beginning, and I am like 96, 97 pages in. I'm actually going to read some of this probably after this video. I don't see anything wrong with this story that everyone is pointing out, and I've seen it get really bad reviews, and I'm just like, why do people have to be so mean towards any author? Yeah, I do enjoy it so far, and even though it is slow, it is quick to get through, and I'm excited to continue reading it. And then after I finish this one, I'll request the second book, Renegade Crew, in the library, because that's what I've had to do with a lot of the self-published books. I do have the Alpha Drive book 1. They had Restitution, which is the last book in the series, and I had requested the whole series, I put on the request paper the Alpha Drive series, and for some reason they ended up getting the last book first instead of getting the first book. So I asked if I can like suspend the hold, and then they put it on hold again, and that it's been crazy trying to get the Alpha Drive in. I do want to read that one because I think it's sci-fi dystopian-ish, and I love my sci-fi. I think it's probably in the mail because they have this thing called a zip book where they will send, or they'll order the book and then they'll send it to you. So I got that email, and so it could be in the library in the next couple of days, or it could be in my mailbox in the next couple of days. Anyways, the first book that I started before midnight in Shadowcrown was Three Dark Crowns, which I almost wasn't able to check this out again, and I've just been renewing it over and over, and I do want to get back to it. This is by Kendare Blake, and it's about three sisters who are kind of fighting, or who have to fight against each other to retain the crown. It's so good so far, and I got really, really into it, but I just haven't been reading this because I've been reading this. So these are two dark fantasies that I'm reading, which is perfect because I'm writing both a dark fantasy and a paranormal novel. And the last book that I am currently reading is What If It's Us by Adam Silvera and Becky Albertalli. Now, I did try More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera, and I actually DNF'd that book because I did not connect with the story at all, and I think I wasn't in the right mindset to read that story, and I've been in kind of a bad mindset recently. like this whole year I've been in a bad mindset, so I haven't wanted to read that book, but I do love this book so much so far. I am that far into it, and what chapter am I on? So I'm on chapter 7 in this, and I just can't wait to see what happens, and I've heard nothing but good things about both of these authors. I've actually tried Simon, but again, I couldn't connect with it at the time, or it just wasn't feeling like a contemporary book. So whenever I do feel like reading a contemporary book again, I'll probably be picking up both of their books, because I do like the writing, and I like how seamless their writing flows. Does that make sense? How seamless their writing flows. I don't know if that makes sense, but this is the last book that I'm reading, and so right now I do have a few more books, but right now I'm just kind of focusing on all 3 of these. And with that said, that is it for this video, for this writing update and currently reading update. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys got done in writing or reading related in the comments down below. And yeah, if you have any dark fantasy book recommendations, please let me know, because I would love to know. I want more of those recommendations, so leave those in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more writing videos on the weekends, because I kind of created that schedule to have writing videos towards the weekend. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next weekend with another writing video. Bye everyone!